Hi there, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to share with you a relatively short stretching sequence that you can use, which anytime really, but would be really nice to have maybe after or even before, I guess, some type of other movement. So you may be walking, hiking, cycling, or running. Um, and it's just designed to target the hamstrings, the thighs, and the shoulders in particular with a little bit of light core. I recommend if you do have a strap, you can certainly incorporate it. I will be using it if you have like a strap, a large towel, or a belt. It might also be handy to have a yoga block and also some type of a blanket or a towel handy. Not necessary though, not absolutely necessary. You can do all of this without, but it does really help. So I will be starting off using the strap. So let's come to the middle of the mat and lie down and just start with your knees in at your chest. So we'll take a little bit of a lower back stretch here just by pulling the knees in pretty close. Let your thighs sort of release toward your rib cage, and then see if you can hold lightly to the backs of your thighs and just bend and straighten the legs here a couple times. And you're not trying to get the legs to totally straighten out, particularly if you just know you feel stiff for any reason in the hamstring, you're a little restricted. Just get a little bit of a dynamic feeling in the backs of the legs just to start off with. And then bring the the heels back in. Hold on to your right leg, extend your left leg all the way out. Move that out of the way. Take an easy twist here. Roll your right knee to the left side, roll onto your left hip and stretch your right arm out. Maybe you look to the right thumb. Bring yourself back as you exhale. And bring the left knee in. We'll switch sides. Hold the left knee, extend the right leg long. Keep your spine relaxed. And as you exhale, easy twist to the right. Roll onto your right hip. Extend your left arm left. Look at your left thumb. Get a little stretch there for the neck. And then come back to the center. Bring your knees in, square yourself off. Now, if you do have a strap and you want to use it, open it up and bring the strap, and we're going to do a strap assisted happy baby pose. So take your feet up like a narrow straddle. Flex the feet, hold on to the strap, and then start to bend your knees. So doing this is nice because it lets your lower back stay on the floor. So what we don't want is the lower back to round up. We want it to stay down in happy baby pose. If you're not using a strap, you can hold on maybe to the backs of your thighs just to make sure that your low back is on the floor. Take about another breath here, pushing down, or rather pulling down on the strap. We're going to keep the right foot on the strap, release the left leg. Left foot can come to the floor or left leg can stretch out. Now we're going to stretch the right leg up a little bit. Now we're going to bend it and extend. If you're going strap free, you can hold the thigh, back of the leg, and extend up a couple more times. Give yourself a moment. Now on this last one, you can always hold on to a little bit more of an extension in the right leg. And take the strap in your right hand, open the right leg out to the right. You can also hold the outside of the right leg. Go as far as you feel like you can stay centered with the rib cage. Bring your right leg back up. Now see again, if you can just go right to side two. Put your left foot in the strap. You can bring the right foot down or stretch the right leg out. Bend and straighten. Maybe 5 times before you hold on to that stretch. Try to keep your spine long and neutral. Check in with your breath. If your breath is a little restricted, try to make an adjustment somewhere so that you can breathe easily. Take the strap in your left hand, open out a little bit to the left, maybe the right arm out to the right. Shoulders tack down. Reach energy through your heels. Bring yourself back to the center. Remove the strap. Roll to the side or take a spinal rock to come all the way up. Now, what we're going to do is take the legs straight out in front like a narrow V. So about as wide as your mat. Now, if you really feel like you're sitting back and your back is rounded, you can do a couple things. You can bend your knees a little bit. So you notice the backs of my knees are popped up off the floor, and that immediately fixes this lower back rounding. It kind of moves in. You could do that. Or if you have a blanket or a towel, you could sit up. You could elevate the hips, and that will do sort of the same thing as bending the knees. It will allow for a little bit of a lower back curve. So take a moment here, flex the toes back, take your arms out to the sides, draw your shoulder blades in and move your navel in a little bit. Inhale. And then as you exhale, take a little rotation to the right. So we want to keep the arms the same relative to one another and come back. Inhale, exhale, rotate left. So we're getting a little shoulder stretch, a little core work, as well as the legs. Inhale, exhale, rotate a little to the right. One more this way. Inhale, and then exhale. We're going to do 4 more with a little add-on. So inhale, up, exhale, twist. You can stay or take a little reach for your toes. Lift up, inhale, exhale, and reach. And up to center. 1 more each side. Rotate and twist. Keep a steady breath. Lift up. Rotate from your ribs and reach up. Take your arms up, walk your feet in, come and do a nice strong Dandasana, staff pose. Now again, you can totally bend your knees here so that you can emphasize pulling the shoulders back and the low back in. Your legs might also be a little straighter. And then take your arms down, exhale. We're going to come onto our knees. So put this off to the side. Come to stand on your knees. Again, if you have a strap, you can take it open. If you're not using a strap, pretend like you have one, right? So you're going to take that imaginary strap and try to pull it apart. Right, so open up your strap wider than your shoulders. We're going to do some shoulder flossing here. Move your navel in, tone your glutes. So you don't want to be like arched. You want to feel drawn in a little bit through the front. Toes are tucked. We're going to go back and forth here. So just a little movement, maybe up to 8 times. You count and just go to a comfortable stretch. Your arms should be at a point where, again, you can breathe through this and you're not going to that like 95 to 100%. You want to be somewhere around 80 to 85% effort in moving the shoulders, particularly if one or both shoulders have a little bit of an injury or a sensitivity. Move your tailbone toward the floor, so you'll find that you need to kind of brace in the core here as well. Do about 1 or 2 more. And come up. A few little side bends here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Exhale, lower the strap. Set it off to the side. If you have a block, you might want to have it near you. Step your right foot out in front. Do a little lizard pose stretch here. So drop the hips. Left toes can stay tucked under. Now, if you have a block and you want to use it, You can put your forearms on it and drop down a little bit lower. You can also bring your forearms all the way down to the floor or stay up on your hands. Now drop this knee out to the side a little bit. So let the right knee open out here. Get a good outer hip stretch. Keeping your belly toned in. And then put your right foot back on the floor. You can keep your left knee down or lift your left knee up. If you want to go for a little bit more active, rock forward and back through your left heel. Keep your left leg strong. Bring your left knee back down. Turn open. Right arm comes up. Reach your right arm to the back. Now here's your opportunity. If you want to take a quad stretch here, you can pull your heel in. If not, keep your foot on the floor. Just get into the front of the thigh a little bit if you feel like you need that. You could even go back to that quarter pigeon by dropping the right knee out to the right if you wanted to. Come back to center, release down, and we'll go right to side two. So step your right foot back, left foot steps just to the outside of the left hand. Drop the hips down. Take your version, a couple breaths here. Knee down lizard. So your left toes are pointed ahead or slightly to the left. Now, maybe you take that quarter pigeon on the left side. Let the left knee open out. Left foot comes back down. Maybe you pick up the right knee off of the floor, straighten the right leg, and then rock forward and back. And then bring your right knee down. Come back into that thigh again. You can keep working with the block or not. Left arm reaches up and stretch out your shoulder. Option to catch your right foot. And turn and then stay here a little bit, right? So drop the hips and find the stretch down the front of the right thigh if you need that. If you're tight in your quads, lower your back foot down. Come back onto all fours here. We're going to step up to the top of the mat for a forward fold. So this forward fold can look a lot of different ways. I'm going to separate my feet wider than my hips. So maybe, about as wide as the mat. And again, if you have a block or something to put your hands on, even turn it up a little higher. Imagine pulling your heels apart, shifting your weight forward now, right? It's very easy to sit back in the heels. So bring your weight forward, bend your knees, almost like you're going into a squat. And then exhale, straighten the legs, almost, without locking the knees. 2 more times. Bend and straighten. 1 more bend. And we're going to hold the stretch on the last one. You can bring your hands even to your ankles. Relax your head. Roll your inner thighs toward one another. So it looks like a very narrow straddle. As you let your head go. Press down into your heels and pull your kneecaps up a little bit. So try to engage your lower quads for this last breath. And then release your hands to the floor, step your feet in, and come back down to a seat. One last thing here, if you want to grab your blanket and a strap if you've got them. Bring your blanket back to the middle of your mat and come have a seat on it. Now, if you have a block, you could also sit on the block. It's a little less comfortable, but you could do the same thing with the yoga block. Nice forward fold here. Take your strap around your feet. Now you can do what we've been doing, right? We've been sort of working with this shape of keeping the feet wider than the hips, right? For our final forward fold here. So you absolutely could take your feet toward the corners of your mat, like almost like a narrow straddle. Lift up as you inhale. Try to draw your lower back in. So again, you can bend the knees, pull the shoulders back, move the belly button in, And then as you exhale, forward fold. Maybe you need the strap to pull on, or maybe you just reach for your big toes and work a little narrow straddle pose here. Now as your chest moves forward, see if you can imagine shifting your tailbone back. And just surrender to that stretch here for another breath. Release. Bring yourself all the way up. We finish with a nice easy twist. Bend your knees, cross one shin in front of the other one. Take a good rotation. Nice easy twist to the right. So reset your spine. You can move your head a little bit. Feel your connection to your core and your posture, your low back moving in, and then wrap around to the left side. So bring yourself all the way around to the center. You can stay in your seated position for a little bit longer, take a seated meditation. You could lie down and take a short shavasana, or conclude, or move on to another type of movement after this little bit of preparation. And so I really hope that you got some benefit out of this, and I will hope to see you soon. Namaste.